Seth Tagmeyer has been awaiting this moment for the last 2 months. It's one that I have met with resistance, and I'm not too pleased to at least promote, but you've actually dedicated yourself to a little bit of work, which is more than we could typically say for you. So what do we have here? And have you figured out a title, at least during the break, for what we're about to do?
I have no title. I'm just going to call it the Chubby All-Star team.
What inspired you to make this team?
When Tony Gwynn was named to the Hall of Fame, I'm thinking, Tony Gwynn, he's a rather big guy. So I'm like, well, maybe I can put together an all-star team of Tony Gwynn-type people, Kirby Puckett-type people, you know.
Wait, what?
You know what I'm saying?
Kirby Puckett was stocky. Don't rip his weight.
All right, stocky, chubby, chunky, stout, whatever you want to say.
Are we going to have an argument? What, you have Kirby Puckett on this team?
Kirby Puckett was 5'8", 210.
Kirby Puckett was a man among boys and was built like steel.
Yeah, steel. That's steel, all right.
Give me the team.
All right. So, Tony Gwynn.
Okay, so this is called the unofficial Seth Tagmeyer, hi, you're fat, but you're a good list.
Good baseball. These were all great baseball players. Let's just get to the players.
Give me the list. Give me the list.
I got outfielders. I got Tony Gwynn and right listed. Now, these listed at 5'11".
Greatest hitter of all time.
Listed at 5'11", 199.
Third greatest hitter. Okay.
I got Kirby Puckett in center field. 318 hitter, 207 home runs in his career. World Series ring. Can't ask for much more. Yeah. Except for maybe another 5 years of playing time.
Did you just say that?
I did not just say that.
Mr. Glaucoma does not need to hear from you. He won 2 World Series.
2 World Series.
Great Hall of Famer, and you're taking a cheap shot at him. This is okay. I'm throwing this away. I don't want to hear the rest of it.
It's all right. I got to memorize. It's all up in my head.
Let's go.
I got Babe Ruth in left field,
that's a
14.
given.
That's a given.
Hot dogs and beer, baby.
He's listed at 6'2", 215. That's a lie. I think he got up to about 250 towards the end
I don't
of his career.
think we really were in the advanced part of weight training during that era where we tried to
I think he thought hot dogs were a weight training program.
That's all right, though, you know. Ballpark Franks, baby. Works for Michael
Franks
Jordan.
And a little beer. All right, so that's the outfield. And moving to the infield, we'll start at third base with Mr. Terry Pendleton, 5'9", 180. Pretty sure he was a little bit bigger than that. He
made it, what, 12, 13 years, Terry? Where did he fit? Because he was Braves, won a World Series.
Cardinals, Royals, Giant. Did he play for the Giants?
Only, this is actually a funny, football, you can't get away with it unless you're an offensive lineman or kicker. Call Sebastian Janikowski up on this one. And in baseball, it's basically, it's 162 games. It's a long year. It's 8 months of the season, or the year you're dedicating yourself. So go ahead and indulge yourself a little bit. Only 2 sports you can really get away with being, call up Bartolo Colon a little bit. Tell me he's on this list.
Oh, actually, I think I forgot about what is he? He's got to be pushing 250.
You know what his ERA is this year? 6.3. The guy won a Cy Young 2 years ago. He's got a 6.3 ERA.
Wow. Look up Bartolo Colon's height and weight.
Bartolo needs to get hooked up with Jared from Subway at this point. Get the guy a sponsorship to lose a little bit of that hefty chunkiness.
We'll get to the pitches here in a little bit later on. I got Terry Pendleton at third. He won the MVP one year in '97, I think. Or it was
MVP, yeah.
MVP.
5'11", 245.
Yeah, he's. I think I can pencil him as my number 3 starter.
And he's making $16 million this season, Bartolo. Attaboy, buddy.
Right.
Remember what Chunk from Goonies?
Yeah.
Remember that movie? Doesn't Bartolo remind you a little bit of him?
A little bit,
just from the size.
Just a little bit.
That's a commemorative moment in the history of a Cy Young winner named Bartolo Colon. Okay, so Terry Pendleton. Is it third?
Is it third, yeah.
Who's your shortstop?
Well, middle infield got a little bit tough because that's usually a position you got to be a little bit more agile. So I came across Rafael Ramirez, played for the Braves and the Astros from 1980 to 1992. He was an all-star in 1984. But pretty much the only reason Ramirez is on this list because in 1989 he signed a 2-year, $2.2 million contract with the Astros. One of the stipulations in that contract was he was to be weighed every day. And if his monthly average ducked under 187, he got a $12,500 bonus.
That's kind of routine that I think players really strive for when they try to make their way up into the professional ranks of professional sports. Is what can I do to at least keep management happy and not be overweight? Rafael Ramirez, a player I've never heard of, 1980 to 1992, I'm being told. How did he get 112 stolen bases in his career then? So he actually was weighed on a daily basis?
Yeah, I don't think he was really ever overweight. I think it's just one of those weird stipulations. We could do a whole other segment on just crazy...
What if John Daly had that clause in his contract?
He would be poor. He would be dirt poor because he's not under 187, and I don't think we'll ever see him under 187.
Who you have at second then?
Ron Belly Belliard. If Brewers fans remember him. He played there from
David Lopes era. Thank you.
98 till 2002. Coming into spring training in 2000, he weighed at 206 on his 5'8" frame.
And at second base too, Ronnie, was he kind of the predecessor for starting the Manny Ramirez look, where you're going to have your pants looking like like an early 1990s rap video, where they're really baggy, like the MC Hammer look. Boom, there it is, that kind of thing. Where you're looking at Ronnie, dreadlocks. You're looking at Ronnie like, did some fan just get the privilege of playing for kind of like the movie Eddie, where a fan gets to coach a game. You look at Ronnie every time at second base, like, well, what little spectacle did I miss where someone who weighs 210 pounds, who can't field a routine grounder to his left and hits 240 with an on-base percentage of 280, what is he doing on this team?
Because I couldn't find any other second baseman that was over 200 pounds.
No, on your team, I'm saying that's great. I'm saying in the MLB, I think he's with the Nationals right now.
He's with the Nationals. He's batting about 307, I think, with the Nationals this year.
Tell you what, I'd take him over Ricky Weeks.
Right now, yeah.
It's embarrassing as Belliard had been. So 4 years, that's a great pick, I have to say. At second, a tough position.
The quote in here, when he came into spring training in 2000 weighing 206, there's a scout that said that he looked like a catcher. And he promised the Brewers he was going to lose weight. He was going to drop 18 pounds by the end of spring training. And he failed. And in August, in a Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel interview, another scout said that he's definitely bigger than when I saw him in April. He almost looks more like a catcher than a second baseman. And he played more like a catcher than a second baseman.
Anyway, Ronnie, and your moment of fame is here on the Sports Fix on the all-chubby team with Seth Tagmeyer. First base, how many options did you have here?
Too many. I had this.
Can we get like honorable mention?
Well, I got a couple. I got a couple bench players and a DH. So I went at first base. I went with Boog Powell.
Who?
Boog Powell. He weighed 240 pounds at 6'4". He got up to about 260 during his later years. He actually won the MVP in 1970, and I believe that's when he was up to his 260 pounds. He had 339
This guy looks like
runs.
He could saw a tree with his bare hands. Look at those forearms.
Well, we can't really look. We're in radio.
Well, guess what? Imaginative people. He's a very sizable young man. 6'4", 240, John Wesley Powell.
Yeah. But like I said, he got up to about
the guy's
260.
cut. He's cut. So how is this? I thought this was supposed to be based on you put no effort into training. You're just a very large man because of your hot dog diet. This guy actually put...
You're not listening. I said he got up to 260 in his later years when he won his MVP.
Well, you're talking, so obviously I'm not listening. Okay, so he got to 260.
Yeah, 260. That's a big boy at 6'4".
What's Prince weigh? Prince is 265.
Prince did not make this team, but he will in a couple of years.
Who's honorable mention then?
Well, let me.
I feel embarrassed that I know who Boog Powell was when I look at his stats now.
Let me round up the catcher.
339 career homers. Okay, I'm done.
Catcher. I had to do a little investigative work for the catcher.
It's called research. You should do that as a producer.
Sometimes. I don't feel like it sometimes, though. Guy's name is Frank Hogan.
Okay.
Nickname Shanty.
His nickname is Shanty.
He played for the Braves, Giants, and Senators from 1925 to 1937.
Okay.
Listed 6'1", 240. One winter, he got up to 278.
Attaboy!
And he was forced to lose 50 pounds by opening day. And a former New York Times sports writer said that he would crunch bits of dry toast, nibble on a leaf of lettuce, and have a half a cup of weak tea, and call it with a tear in his eye a meal. And that's how he got down. Dropped his 50 pounds.
That's called writing.
That's pretty good. That's how they used to write back in the 1920s.
Well, trainer, and I don't know exactly when the existence of trainers really popped into the radar, but they weren't the most popular trade, until I think the 50s and 60s. So you have no honorable mention at first base because I think we could go down a long list here.
I have kind of an honorable mention. It's just my bench.
Crucky.
I got John Kruk. I got Cecil Fielder is actually my DH, and then I got John Kruk, Kevin Mitchell, and then Ron Coomer actually made the list as well.
Ron Coomer, all-star because of Major League Baseball's trendy little rule where every single team has a representative. Ron Coomer led the Twins with, I think, 82 or 83 RBIs about 6-7 years ago. Well, there you go. Without further ado, the all-chunky, fat, large baseball team by Seth Tagmeyer. Boog Powell, new guy I'm going to have to do a little bit more research on. Coming in at 278 pounds. Impressive little stint by the former first baseman for the Orioles. Well, all right, Seth, we're pleased that you were finally able to relay and release this much ballyhooed list of yours. You have anything else? You're going to do this for NFL? It's going to become an ongoing segment for you?
Well, I don't know. I don't really know the NFL.
It's called effort, and you're not a big fan of doing a lot of that.
I don't like to put a lot of effort into things.
You could do your all-celebrity one. We could just have, once again, little, Star Jones, Rosie O'Donnell lead us off.
That's not really sports, though.
We'll have fun with it. Well,
I'll see what I can do.